And let's give it up for Frank the cat scratching our couch. Say hi, Frank. Hey guys, welcome to Princess Confessions. I am so excited. It is the beginning of October, which means that spooky season is in full effect. Freeform just played Hocus Pocus for the first time, and I could not be more excited for Halloween to be coming up. Even though this year has been less than perfect, I just am so excited. I just think it's gonna be interesting to see how people kind of celebrate and have a good time, even though you're not supposed to like go out to bars and stuff. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Zoom parties and like watch parties going on, and I think it'll be a great time. In honor of it being spooky season, I have decided to make all of my videos for the month of October Halloween themed. So this very first one, I'm going to discuss my fears. And I was going to talk about fake fears and kind of make a really sarcastic, ridiculous video. And it would sound something like this. I'm afraid of calling somebody back. Waking up in the middle of the night and hearing Gilbert Gottfried's voice. Oh my God, could you imagine? Could you just imagine? That terrifying moment when you recognize somebody at the grocery store and you realize you're going to have to talk to them. And then after you talk to them, you continue to run into them throughout the store. That's not so much terrifying as just as awkward, but it still causes me anxiety. You guys get the picture. So instead of doing a fake fears video, I've decided to actually discuss 3 things that actually terrify me. And I think that these might be things that a lot of people can identify with. And I'm interested to hear what might be something that scares you. I kind of would like to take these videos in the direction of having like a discussion, not necessarily about what I have to say, but I want to hear your point of view as well. So drop me a comment below and let me know what you're scared of. So first up, I have a deep, dark dread and fear of spiders. And I can't explain why I'm afraid of spiders. Like, I just think they're creepy crawly and they kind of like, they stalk around things, but I don't have any experiences with spiders where I've been traumatized with them. I've never had one like on my face. And of course, like as a child, I ran into them pretty frequently when you're running around outside, but I don't have any super traumatic events with spiders to really justify being as afraid as I am of them. But it makes my palms sweaty to see a picture of a spider or to see a spider in real life. It just completely, I'll like seize up and it's like, oh my goodness, I cannot with spiders. I did have my older sister play a really mean prank on me. So my brother had these like spider pins that were actually like super realistic looking, but they were pins. So you could pin these little spiders onto your lapel or you could put them on your backpack. And I knew they were there, like they were like kept in our like common area, like in a little jar. But one day I was talking to my older sister in our kitchen and my brother was there, and as she turned, I saw a spider on her back and it was probably about this big, and I just started screaming and swatting at her back to try and get this spider off of her. And of course, I'm not realizing that her and my brother are laughing because I am like completely freaking out. And I think I ended up grabbing like a magazine. It was like hitting her back and trying to get this thing to come off, but it was one of the fake spiders it was pinned on. So I like at one point grabbed it with my bare hand to try and get it off of her. And I'm still screaming the entire time this is happening, mind you, like freaking out. And then I realized that they're laughing at me. And that's when I realized it was a fake spider. So maybe I was traumatized by spiders as a child, and that's why I'm afraid of them. Thanks, Crystal. Just kidding, I love you. This next one is kind of a weird one for me since I'm such a huge ocean fanatic and I love being in the water and swimming, but I'm actually really afraid of deep water, specifically dark, like deep, dark water. If I can't see the bottom of where I'm swimming, like that terrifies me. I am shook it. I actually looked up, there's a name for this like fear of deep water, and it's called thalassophobia. And it's and this like interesting fact pops up. Less than 10% of the ocean has been explored. It's interesting because we just went to Cancun, and I posted the videos here of us swimming with dolphins. And I remember when my husband booked that excursion, he said, "Oh, we're going to be swimming with marine wildlife, and it's like out in the middle of the ocean." And I was like, "Great, cool. Like, that sounds like such an amazing trip. Let's do it." And as we were on the boat going out to the site where we were supposed to see whale sharks, but unfortunately it was the end of the season, so they weren't there. But there's this pod of dolphins swimming with our boat, and the captain was like, "If you want to jump in and swim with them, go ahead." So as we're going to the site, it like dawns on me, like, oh my gosh, how deep is this water? Like, we're out in the middle of nowhere. What's down there? And I didn't want to ask the captain, but I had to ask the captain, like, how deep is the water that we're going to be swimming in? And he said something like 100 meters. I have no idea what that equates to, but in my head, I was like, that's big enough for a mosasaurus to live in. Like, we could get swallowed by the Meg. That's what's going to happen to me today. As I'm frolicking with dolphins, I'm going to get swallowed by some giant ancient shark. That's what's going to happen. Like, I had this, like, panic moment when my husband first jumped into the water. Of course, he's the bravest one and jumps right in before anybody else. And other people start jumping in, and I was the last person on the boat to jump in. The captain was like, "Go ahead, like, you're fine." And I didn't want to be like, "I'm gonna pee my pants." Like, I'm so scared. But I finally did jump in, but I was so afraid to look down that when I did go under the water to see the dolphins, I kept my eye level like, straight, because I was so afraid that I was gonna look down and see something coming up that, like, I can't explain to you what would be coming up. Like, I don't know, but in my mind it was like, oh my gosh, something like giant tentacle is going to grab me, and like, that's it, we're done. Like, that's my worst fear, that somehow I'm going to be swimming in a lake or the ocean and I can't see what's below me, and something comes up and takes me out. And I don't really know why I'm afraid of it, because at that point there's nothing you can do. You just fuck it, goodbye. But that, like, it terrifies me. And as much as I was afraid to jump in the water with these dolphins, I actually was really proud of myself for doing it, even though I did not look down once. I wish I was joking, but I really did not look down when I was in the water. I was so afraid that if I looked down, I would see a shadow or something move, and that would just be it. I'd be done. Okay, so this last thing that I'm afraid of is something that's pretty common, especially in horror movies, but jump scares wreck me. And I'm already a pretty anxious person as it is, so specifically movies where music plays a part in building to a jump scare, that for me is multiplied times 1,000. If I feel like something scary is about to happen, then I'm already freaking myself out on top of whatever it is on camera that's freaking me out. Actually, there was a thing that was pretty popular back when the internet went public and everyone was on AOL. I think they were called screamers, or like internet screamers, something like that. And it was, so I'm going to date myself here, but back in the olden days, memes and videos, you didn't like have social media to post them to, so you had to email them to your friends and family. And this was pretty popular like back in like the early 2000s, where someone would email you like a game or a picture, and it would have some type of like something to draw you into it. I think the one that like stuck with me, or the first one I ever experienced, it was can you find the ghost in this picture? And it was a picture of a like farmhouse, in the living room in a farmhouse. And you were supposed to scroll through the images and then click on it when you thought you found the ghost. And as you're scrolling through, it's like giving you hints like, oh, look at the chair, or check out the corner. And as you get towards the bottom screen, it tells you that if you get closer to the screen, you'll be able to see the ghost. It says something like, like 70% of people who got closer to the screen saw the ghost. So of course, naturally, your face gets closer to the screen, and when you find the ghost, you're supposed to click on the image. Well, when you click on the image, a like terrifying face pops out of nowhere with this horrifying sound, and thus you have an internet screamer. And there's a couple ones that are super popular. There was one with a car, I think, or a bunny, and those have like traumatized me to the point where even now when I'm scrolling through Facebook, if someone posts something that's like, check this out or watch this video, I am the first person to go to the comments section to see if someone's like, oh, you're such a jerk, or oh, that really scared me, because I'm like so afraid that something's just gonna pop up out of nowhere and ruin my life. Okay, no, I can't. Oh god, no. So I'm literally typed in internet screamers into YouTube, and of course there's like a whole playlist of them, and I am like sweating. I'm sweating because this light is obnoxious, but I'm like super anxious, and I don't think I can do this. I was gonna try and like watch one live and react to it, but it'll just ruin my entire night. And I love you guys, but like I will not be able to sleep. Like even the images that pop up here, I can just like hear the screams. Like I can't. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna like post a link below of, there's this one. It's like the top 4 classic YouTube screamers. I'm gonna link that below, and if you're brave enough to try it, like go for it. I'd love to see your reaction to it. That'd be hilarious. But I love you guys, and I wish I was brave enough, but I literally am like terrified to even like click on any of these. Like I even turned the volume off on my computer when I type this in, because it's like I don't want anything to pop up and scream at me. So those are some of the things that completely horrify me, and I would love to hear what scares you. In honor of spooky season and Halloween coming up, what terrifies you? Drop a comment below, comment on my Facebook or my Instagram. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, I miss you. I hope that you're well, and until next time, take care, my darlings.